Welcome to the show that looks at truth, fiction, and reality with a smirk. I'm Aaron Peterson.
I'm Amanda Sink.
And I'm Zach Parkerson.
And welcome to Smirk. Each week, one of our hosts introduces an original story, which we then use as a springboard for a spirited or lighthearted discussion on whatever the moral or theme of their story is or was. This week, it's going to be a listener's story. So it's not one that we wrote. It's not one somebody else wrote. Who's excited?
Me, depending on who it is. No, I'm just kidding. We're excited for everyone.
Wow, that really just sounded like a slap to the face of everybody you don't like.
Just kidding.
I don't know how to proceed after that. I feel like we're walking around landmines.
Yeah, way to insult we don't know who.
Well, this person is somebody who's written in before, and she had a good story before.
Yes, we actually have two listener stories coming up. We have Christina Flores is coming up, and we have Paula Sell this week.
Both listeners who have sent stories in.
Did we get anything from Brandon Sanderson or Stephen King or...
You know, Stephen King wrote one, and he just said, screw it, I'm going to put it up as my own. And he just made the whole book. It was a really...
That sounds like Stephen.
It's kind of a jackass move if you think about it, Steve.
It's not very nice.
Yeah.
Or Big K.
He's probably too busy marathoning The 100 again in that time.
Does he do that?
He's a huge The 100 fan. He live tweets every episode.
How do you know this? Do you follow him on Twitter?
No, I only know because he and I are both big fans of The 100. I don't like him.
You don't like Stephen King?
You don't like Stephen King? What?
He writes kid orgies.
How are we... Well, all right, there's truth to that.
Yeah, it's in the book It. What do you want from me?
Maybe that's what it meant. What are they doing? It. Now we understand that old book. I love it. Are you ready to hear this listener story?
I really hope it's, because I want to get off
the topic of kid
orgies. You didn't know that? In
Stephen King's It, there is a child.
Oh, no, I knew that. I just don't know why we're talking about it.
Zach brought it up.
Because it's the first thing you think of when you think Stephen King.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not even in the top three.
He writes monstrous things.
Whoa. Well, I mean, it's cool. We just lost everybody that listens. He writes monstrous things.
He does. Well, yeah, you can't. That's dumb. That's a dumb thing he did. It's stupid. Let's do a whole podcast on that sometime.
Let's not.
It is a great book. That one scene, okay, that's weird. Really weird. But the book itself is a great book.
Yes, he details the size of each of the boys' penises. It's a weird scene.
He's a very detailed writer, apparently, okay? He wants you to really imagine it.
Okay, let's move on.
You had to describe how Bev felt.
I'm feeling really bad for Paula because she's sitting there going, please get to my story before people hate it.
I feel really bad because she probably wants to share this with her children, and that ain't going to happen.
Well, now she's going to get a lot more information than she expected. All right, I think we're going to jump into the story if you guys are ready. So it's time for a story that doesn't involve Zach's creepy side things.
Not my creepy side thing. It's Stephen King's creepy.
Your creepy rant.
Focal thing.
Here we go. Sam works in the medical field. She looked at the clock. It read 4:15 p.m. and thought to herself, one more patient, then I'm out of here at 5. It was just like every other Friday, except she didn't get out at 5. Her patient needed a little more TLC than normal. As she was leaving work and walking to her car, she was thinking of all the things she needed to get done tonight. Pick up her kids at her parents' house, go home, get dinner, try not to fall asleep before 7 p.m. Sam gets in her car, turns on one of her favorite podcasts, called Smirk, checks the time, 5:20 p.m., and then pulls out of the parking lot. About 10 minutes into her drive to her parents, she turns right onto a main 2-lane road. There were a few cars in front of her. One in particular was in the left lane, veering over the line on the left and about to head into the steep ditch. The driver jerked to the right and then back into the left lane. A few seconds later, they started veering into the right lane. Sam thinks many things to herself. Someone started their fun weekend early. Maybe I should take a picture of the vehicle and plates. I'm clearly going to stay way behind this car. No way I'm passing it. So red light was coming up. There are cars sitting there waiting for the green to go. That car is not slowing down. Sam's seen a crash in her head. She's shaking her head no. She's feeling sorry for the people in the car in front of this person. The car stops in time. Sam takes a sigh of relief and says out loud, oh my, that was close. Sam knows she could handle that kind of situation, but no one ever wants to. Now all the cars are waiting for the light to turn green. Sam again thinks she should take a picture of the car and plates. She feels responsible for the unknown person. The light turns green, all the cars to the right of them go, and the cars in front of the car from hell went as well. Sam sits there a couple seconds, not wanting to be that honking person, but inevitably she honked and received no response from the car in front of her. It looked like the person was slumped over. She thought about all the things that could be wrong: seizure, diabetic, shock, even stroke. This person could really need help. Sam pulled her car over to the left as far as she could safely go. Most importantly, she paused her podcast, then ran out of her car and up to the car from hell's window. As she was running up to the car, other cars were coming up fast to it as well, so Sam was motioning to people with her hands to slow down. The car's windows are tinted, so she couldn't see through the window very well, but she saw an outline of a head, and they were slumped over. She bangs on the window and yells, "Are you okay?" She sees the person move. They seem to wipe spit from their mouth. She was just about to open the driver's door when the back window started rolling down. She started thinking to herself, this person is intoxicated with something. They didn't need medical help. They needed to sleep it off and not be driving. The back window rolls back up, and the driver's side window starts rolling down. It's a man, shaggy black hair, in his late 20s. Sam asked him again, "Are you okay?" She could see it in his eyes when he realized, suddenly, what was going on. The car was already in drive, so he just hit the gas and drove off so fast it made Sam back up a little to get out of the way. She couldn't stop herself from wishing she had listened to her gut and taken a picture of the car and plates as she watched it speed down the busy road.
Ooh, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, I kind of thought there was going to be a serial killer.
In the back seat? That's the back window that rolls down?
Disappointed. Nobody died.
You can tell Zach didn't write this because everybody lived.
I know. Did he leave?
What? I've written stories where people lived.
Yeah, like 3.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And then it still has another level of darkness to it.
But you wanted to end it different.
Well, that's good.
We could tell.
Yeah, well, no, I have to force myself to not just, at the end of every sentence, I always just write, and then he died. And then she died. And then they died.
You're just like Stephen King yourself. There you go. Only
you took inspiration from him.
You did.
That's why I'm so angry at him, is because he's a more successful version of me.
There you go.
I don't know if you should really be compared to Stephen King.
Wow.
He's a very
he's
successful writer.
He's done pretty well for himself. So,
Well, it's because you know the right people.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's not because of all of the hundreds of books he's written.
It wasn't talent at all. It was all because of the guys he knew. All right, so what do you think the moral of her story is? Anyone?
Trust your gut.
Power and responsibility.
You always a Spider-Man? Really? With you?
You know what? I didn't even make that connection in my mind. I was just thinking about power and responsibility.
Well, it's all connected. Amanda, did you peek at this one? Because that is the actual... We should listen to our gut more. That's the moral.
Well, that's what she said. I wish I would have listened to my gut in the story.
Yeah, and that's the moral.
All right. Easy enough. I like it. I win.
There you go. Well, good.
Boom. That's 2 for me.
Do you get a prize?
I don't know.
think we're giving away stuff.
This is my second one. Yeah.
Are we on like episode 40 something?
I don't know, but nobody else has gotten it exactly right.
Just keep telling yourself that. That's cool. 2 for 2, Chuck Woolery. I like it.
Yeah, you got to take your victories in life where you can, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have them elsewhere, so at least I can take them here on Smirk.
Oh, this just got super sad.
No, I'm good with it.
All right, first question. These are her questions. She sent in 3 questions for us.
Look at that diligence.
Like, it's our show, all right? We'll ask whatever we want to ask. So, what did you guys do Friday? Just kidding.
Oh, man.
I don't want to hear.
We don't care.
It's probably scary and illegal.
It's whiskey and sadness.
And reflecting on life's bad decisions.
That sure sounds like a Zach weekend.
First question. How would you have handled the car from hell situation? Amanda, you love the word situation. How would you have handled it?
I do?
You say it all the time.
Do I really?
Yeah.
Oh.
A lot.
Quite a situation.
What are we going to do about this situation?
I don't think I've ever said that sentence.
Zach,
I don't think she says it with that like Valley Girl accent.
No, I hope not.
Situation.
A whole lot of sass in the head. Bob, 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 bob.
No, I guess I've never really done a count of how often Amanda says situation, but I'll start now.
Yeah, please
we're going to get a little dinger. Ding. Go ahead, Amanda. Fill us in on this situation.
All right. So I guess I would have already taken the picture. I'm that person who calls
While you were driving?
If I need to. I'm the person who calls the non-emergency 911 number because I have Bluetooth in my car. And I'll just call them and I'll say, hey, there's a driver on the road and I think they might be drunk. You might want to have someone come out and...
Can I just
Narc.
I just got to interrupt. She said that like she was James Bond, like nobody else has Bluetooth in their car.
Did I? I don't think
Just
so.
over here go like, I call 911 because I got Bluetooth in my car.
I meant because I'm not holding the phone the whole time.
She did kind of say with a little bit of pride, yeah, I got
Yeah.
Bluetooth in my car. It's no big deal. But
No,
I do
I meant
have
it like I'm not doing something illegal by talking on the phone the whole time.
I'm just saying one of my friends is named Q. God, so fancy with your Bluetooth.
That's not how it was
So
intended.
you would call
Whatever.
911 right away and report
The
car.
non-emergency. Yeah, I'd call the
on
non-emergency
her
number.
Bluetooth.
I'm talking on my Bluetooth. Okay, just so you know. Now, I
don't know if you guys know what Bluetooth is, but it's kind of a wireless technology. So I don't actually have to hold my phone.
Exactly. 911 non-emergency? What do you mean? You call 911 and they give you the option?
You can just call the non-emergency number for the area you're in, so
I
that way
didn't-
they can
I
send.
didn't know they had a non-emergency 911. How
Yeah,
do you-
for whatever area
Is that
you're
like
in.
one 911 or what is
No,
it?
I usually just say, okay, Google, call, and then I say whatever city. Oh,
What do you mean usually? Do you do it all the time? Your phone started Googling?
my phone
She
started
does-
doing stuff.
It does sound like she is ratting people out all the time.
No, not all the time. But I am somebody who
Just
works
every
in
time
insurance.
I see people.
I don't want somebody to be in an accident. And if I see somebody who's driving that recklessly, or like sometimes I'll see semi-drivers that are literally swerving in and out
Or
between
that
two
wench
lanes.
who cut you off?
Nope, I don't do
Yeah,
people
or,
who cut me
or
off.
the guy in front of you in the Taco Bell line who just took too long on his order.
That one dude who took that parking spot you really wanted?
No, none of that. Just people who are super reckless, or if they're driving recklessly and they have a child in their car, and I feel like they're actually driving dangerously, then I'll call and I'll just say, hey, you may want to have somebody come out and just kind of like.
I saw one with, this is true. I have to tell this because I'll forget about it in like 5 minutes. I was driving on the highway, and this is like last year, and there's a car and a lady, and it had a car seat in the back, right? In the back seat. But there's a kid hanging at the window, like staring out the window on the opposite side of the car seat. There was like no kid in the car. Like the kid left the car seat and was just hanging out,
my gosh.
licking the window.
That sounds fun.
No, the kid was like that Garfield thing where it's just like suction cup to the window. That was what the kid was doing. And it was part horrifying and part really funny.
Well, I hope they don't.
That does
like,
sound
what
cool,
if
man.
what if their little feet stepped on the little window and rolled the window down as they're up against? Oh my gosh!
What? That's so many connected things that have to happen.
You
Now
have to
imagine if
worry
they were
about
just
that.
a kid who was having fun. Huh? Think about
Zach,
that.
you don't even know what fun is. Let's not hear it from
Yeah,
you.
it's sticking out half your body through the car window.
No.
Feel a rush of air in your face.
I had a dog that did that and then it jumped. So I don't know how much I want to bite into that. So Zach, what about you? What would you have done with the car from hell? Would you have done anything, or are you just like, I'm taking a different way home?
Yeah, I'd probably either just try to pass him or turn off that road, I guess. Yeah, I'm no hero, Aaron. I'm not gonna bother. I'm not gonna take a picture. Feels weird. Oh, that's not my place. I don't care. I'm not a rat. I don't care.
I'm not a
There you go. I just don't care enough. I just want to get home.
Well, at least you're honest. You know what? That's
Just
most
saying.
people. Man is over here nodding their heads in sadness, like, that's just too bad.
For shame.
But
So what? This stranger drives his car off the road and
What if he
kills
doesn't
himself.
drive it off the road and he hits somebody else and kills them?
Well, I don't know them either.
okay.
What if you do? You don't know that you don't know them.
Can we? This is a perfect discussion point that we're just going to veer away from you, Paula, trying to give us what questions we got. Well, actually, I think she has this question, but whatever.
Are you going to try to take credit for her question right now?
No,
That would be awesome.
you know what? I'll wait because she does have that. I just looked at her. I'm like, oh, never mind. She's got this. So.
Yeah. Good on
right,
you,
well, so we'll
Paula.
get
You're
there.
thinking ahead.
She's thinking ahead. She's actually
She
listening
knows
to the
what our
show.
discussion is going to go
She's better
to.
at this show than we are. All right, so I wouldn't have taken a picture because that's just as dangerous as the guy driving. Honestly.
It does feel like you're taking a
wouldn't.
risk. You're on a highway. You got to whip out your phone and zoom in and take a clear picture of this dude's license plate.
Yeah, that is just as dangerous as the drunk. It is. Statistically, it's been proven. So using your phone while driving is just as dangerous as a DUI. It's true. Statistics prove it.
Okay, but who isn't using their phone anymore? So at least you're using it for something
Me,
good
I
to take a picture.
purposely stopped doing it. I did.
I still,
Yeah,
nah.
I've never, ever since I had an accident, I've never used my phone.
You also haven't had a car.
Sure,
Does it count?
But I had a car for many, many years.
Yeah, that's true. See, well,
I press play on the podcast and then I start driving, and I'm not going to text you back until I get to where I need to go or answer a phone call or anything.
well, let's get to her next question because apparently she did think this out. Did Sam shirk her responsibility to the other drivers by not taking the picture and turning this guy in? And if he hurt someone, in your opinion, would Sam be responsible for the accident too? So you want to do, let's like two questions. Let's do the first question first. Did Sam smirk? Did Sam shirk her responsibility to the other drivers by not taking the picture and turning this guy in, Zach?
No. You only have a responsibility to you and your family. You don't have to save everybody on the road. That's the end of the story.
I don't think that it should necessarily be that it's your responsibility. I don't think you have to be responsible for everyone else, but I feel like if you have that part of your body that tells you, or your mind that says, I want to try to help those people, then by all means, go ahead and do it. I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to help people, but I wouldn't say that it's your responsibility or your fault for anything if you don't. But a lot of people will then, they'll shrug that guilt. They don't have to, but they're going to have to deal with that guilt that comes after if something did happen and they didn't do something about it.
Yeah,
because they had the power to stop it and they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, you force, like you had the foresight to see that this was a problem, and you thought about it. You even thought about trying to find the resolution for it, and then you just ignored that. And it's not to say that you're responsible for anything that happens. You're certainly not. But to say that you wouldn't have a level of guilt afterwards would be ludicrous. Of course you would feel guilt if you didn't do something and you thought about doing it to try to prevent that from happening.
I don't know if I would.
You maybe not, but...
Why would I feel like an uptown rapper?
Huh?
Ludicrous?
Uptown girl.
What? Why did you go to Billy Joel?
Living in your uptown.
My answer would be responsibility implies that you have to do it or you're supposed to do it. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I would do it. I wouldn't take a picture because I think that's unsafe, but I would call somebody. I don't know. I'd call the police department or somebody and like turn that plate in and say, hey, they're driving erratically. It would have to be more. This sounds like they were going from lane to lane. So I definitely would call. Yes, that's something I think you should do. But a responsibility, because that implies you have to do it. But I do think as a culture, we've gotten away from any moral responsibility to anything, as Zach proves. We've gotten to the point where we don't think we should have to interfere in anything. And, think of your fellow man. I think that's important.
And I got sidetracked.
And woman.
There you go. I got sidetracked. If you look up whatever area you're in or you tell your phone to look it up for you, you can ask it to call the non-emergency number. And it's basically just a dispatch number. And then they'll send someone else. That way you're not calling 911.
Are you doing PSAs for this podcast? Or
no,
what?
You asked me earlier and then I got sidetracked because my phone
lit
lit
like
up.
10 minutes ago.
I know, but then you reminded me again just now with your comments.
Oh. Hello again.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Here's the other question she has. If he hurt someone, in your opinion, would Sam be responsible for the accident then? Zach, what do you think about that? Does that change your opinion if he ends up hurting someone?
No, this feels like, I feel like there's an actual term for it, right? Isn't there a hero syndrome where you feel the need to be a hero or something like that? Anyway, I'm pretty sure this is a real thing. But no, you don't. You're not responsible for that at all. You're not responsible for complete strangers. You can't bear that weight. You can't carry that weight, you could say.
Well, you did say.
I know.
Let's put this on record. For once, I agree with Zach. It's not something that you can put on your shoulders because could you maybe do something differently to try to change the circumstances? Yes, you absolutely probably could have because you knew that this was a problem and you didn't say anything. But are you responsible or at fault for it? No, not at all. You are not the person that was causing this problem. You weren't even a person who was in the vehicle with that car or with that driver in that car. So I don't think that you have to feel that weight on your shoulders.
I would say, yeah, it's totally your fault. You screwed the pooch, and I hope you can live with yourself. Yeah. No, of course not. That's ridiculous. I mean, you didn't hurt anybody. Whether you take moral responsibility, your personal responsibility, whether you take action, whatever, too many people feel guilty for things they have no control over, and this is just one of the many, many, many things. Mm-hmm. So, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, no, I feel like I used to do that, where I used to feel guilty about stuff like that, but as I've gotten older, you kind of have to shorten your range of responsibility, I guess. You keep trying to put others before you and your family, and you're just gonna be miserable.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that. Scrooge McDuck, but
I'm not. I'm really not like it sounds mean. I'm not trying to make it sound mean. I'm trying to say that if you're always worried about what you could have done or how you could have saved the people that the drunk driver ran into and stuff, it's going to keep eating away at you and you're just going to make you, I guess it just circles back to you can't carry that burden on yourself. You can't save everybody. So focus on the people you know and love.
But that doesn't mean you can't try.
No, hey, you should. If you see a window, you should try. But if you don't try, or if something happens, or maybe you've got to rush home, you've got kids, and whatever, and they hurt somebody, it's not your fault. It's kind of like when people have, and to what Zach's point is, you have a close relative. This happens to people every time someone really close to them dies. They say, what if? What if I would have done this little thing? What if I would have done that little thing? Well, you didn't. Don't spend your whole life with that one little thing. I know I've been there, and we've all probably been there. Don't spend your life with that one little thing you wish you would have done that you didn't do, because you don't know if it would have changed anything. You just don't know. You don't know.
You didn't get that guy drunk. You didn't, put the keys in the car and turn the ignition and hit the highway. They did all that.
It's not your job. And you know what? A whole bunch of other people that car probably passed too, and they didn't do anything either. Are they all responsible as well? I mean, at what point
is the bartender responsible?
Actually, by law,
by law they might be.
They can't take your keys away.
They can restrict you from driving, and they can call the police. They're supposed to stop serving you if they notice that you're.
Yeah, I understand. I've worked in bars. You can't take somebody's keys.
You can call the police though.
Well, but there's like 200 people. How can you know every single person in their sobriety state?
I gotta tell you, Chicago police were not zipping on by super fast because a bartender called them.
Oh boy, well this just went downhill. All right, so would you have?
There are bigger concerns in Chicago.
Would you have taken the picture? Now here's her final question. Would you have taken the picture of the car and plates? And if so, what would you have done with the picture?
Well, I kind of already answered. I would have just called the non-emergency number and given the plates right then and there.
All right, Zach, what would you have done? You wouldn't have done anything, right? You're like, you're on your own.
No, I would have made an excuse, been like, hey, you know what? I think I got to go to McDonald's anyway, so I'm just going to turn off here. It's not my problem.
I hope I'm never in need around you for anything.
After I get my McChicken and I hit the highway and I see a 3-car pileup, I'll just be angry, be like, man, my food's going to get cold.
I would take a picture of it and then Photoshop random horrific accidents that I can find and then put it on the internet. That's what I do. There you go.
You're terrible.
If you want to do something with it, if you're going to take a picture, do something with it. Have some fun.
I would take a picture of the car and then Photoshop in a motorcyclist who's getting change thrown at him.
That's a fun
callback to a good episode.
That's a fun callback. I wouldn't have taken the picture, no, because I would have just called the plates in. And I have done that before, but I'm not Amanda. I don't narc on apparently everyone she sees in traffic.
I didn't say everybody.
I don't know. I usually call my Google Assistant and just say,
No, I'm just saying if I have to do it, then I just use that.
Obviously.
Amanda sounds like the neighbor in an apartment building who calls the cops because your TV's too loud.
Yep.
But doesn't even have the courtesy to go over there first and say, hey, it's a little loud.
No.
Just immediately calls the police.
Look, Steve, you're supposed to have your TV down. I shouldn't have to come over and tell you. So the police are going to have to deal with it.
It's the quiet time.
I couldn't live in an apartment. That's why I've always rented houses.
She's totally that person, Zach.
I couldn't.
She is.
I could not handle it. I would not be able to handle it. I go to bed early, guys.
You're going to come out at 8 in the morning and you got a bathrobe on?
My hair's in curlers, even though it's naturally curly.
Oh my God. Just call you the rat in the neighborhood. Oh, look, there she is, the rat.
Yeah.
They probably throw not dead ones, but fake rats at my door or something.
Okay, that just went dark. Why would they throw dead rats at your door?
I said the fake ones, the little rubber ones.
See, you took it too far.
Spray paint narc on the hallway here.
Yep, spray painted on her door.
In red. Spray painted.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so was her story truth or fiction? Zach, what do you think? Was her story truth or fiction?
It sounds like truth.
Amanda?
Truth.
It was true. It's a true story. So
you know why?
It sounds like
it's because she paused the podcast when she got out.
Did she actually put Smirk in there, or did you add that?
No, I added that.
Okay.
That's a little self-promotion.
I think it's implied when somebody says they're listening to a podcast, it's kind of implied that they're listening to Smirk.
Yeah, I think she was paying a little nod to the podcast because she wrote into the podcast.
Yeah, yeah. So you just wanted to make sure.
And
you
I'm
added
embellishing
that
the hell out of it. I mean, actually, she wrote Smirk like 8 times.
Okay, good to know.
We'll say to the award-winning podcast Smirk.
She did, except we haven't done that. But she did.
Award
highest rated
nominated.
podcast on iTunes. It's President Barack Obama's favorite podcast.
Listens to it all the time.
Every episode, never misses one. Downloads on the day of. Subscribed, of course.
And he kind of does like a slow jam dance to it.
Oh, yeah.
Because he rocks out.
He likes the intro music where he's
does.
like, yeah, I can get down with this.
Yep. Very much so.
We appreciate you, Obama.
Yeah. Big O.
What's the name of her story?
Her story's name is Picture.
Oh.
Because
okay.
it's about a picture that she should have taken and apparently didn't. I assume it's you, Paula.
Dang you, Paula.
Nice job.
Don't
Nice
feel
job.
guilty. We're not.
You should
Hey,
feel horrible.
you don't have to feel. I've told you many times over this podcast. Don't feel guilty. Don't even worry about it.
Zach
Yeah.
apparently does not care.
Live your life according to Zach's logic because nobody is really the shining example of what a good human should be. As Zach is.
As much
for
as
me.
he is.
All right, as our show goes, we will occasionally pick listener stories, as we did today, to read and discuss on Smirk. If you'd like the chance to have yours read, email it to mystory@smirkpodcast.com. It's mystory@smirkpodcast.com. If you have a second, please go to iTunes or Apple Podcasts, whatever. Leave a review. It really does help the show. Spotify, be sure to and whatever you listen to it on, share it with your friends. Like help Smirk get to the world by sharing it.
So more people can add their stories and
There you
leave
go.
comments on our stories.
There you go. We can tell them how they did things wrong, like Paula did. I mean, you didn't take that picture, and now you have to feel horrible for the rest of your life.
Don't feel bad, Paula. Don't
Just
listen to
A
him.
little bit.
Just no.
But you know what?
She saves lives every day, doesn't she?
What she did was she made sure not to miss any of the podcast, and I honestly think that's the most important part of this.
We
entire
do
story.
respect you for hitting pause. That's is very crucial
very
in the
important.
story. Yeah.
My favorite part of the whole story.
Yeah.
I teared up.
So is Paula a nurse? Is that what the beginning
I
of the story
think she
was?
works in the medical field.
Or I'm sorry,
She does work in the
Sam?
medical field.
Yeah, Sam.
I apologize.
Sam.
The protagonist of the story.
Yeah, she said that
Maybe that's
she
why-
works in the medical field. Yes.
Maybe that's why Sam has a heightened feeling of responsibility. It's 'cause
Probably.
she's responsible for lives all the time.
Wow, look at you coming in deep,
Why didn't you bring this up like early when we were actually like talking about the episode and the story?
coming in deep like a
I
Stephen King
kind of
story.
forgot what Sam's job was until I'm sorry. Yeah, Sam's job. I forgot what Sam's job was until about now.
Oh,
So
well,
that's
you're
why.
welcome for that reminder.
Well, it seems like that explains it. That's all. She is an actual hero and therefore feels the need to be a hero even when she's on her way to McDonald's.
Aw, you should just get a cape. That's what you should do, and then jump out of the car and run up to that other car.
Yeah.
Put a cape on, because then that wouldn't be weird at all. Lady
Just-
comes flying out of her
Yeah.
car with a cape on.
Can she just put on the Wonder Woman costume?
Well, no,
That would be pretty cool.
I mean, that's copyrighted, I think, or trademarked or
she
something.
can get out. It's Halloween season. Get you a costume,
All right,
girl.
join the conversation by joining our Facebook group. Follow us on Twitter @Smirk Podcast, and be sure to use the show's hashtag Smirk. It's easier than it sounds, right? Don't miss an episode. Be sure to subscribe to Smirk on your podcast app of choice, and check out our website at smirkpodcast.com. And as you should I say it as Paula, because she's female? So as you write your own life story, always remember to tell
stop
it.
that.
That's terrible. That's not anything like a woman. What?
It's like a Southern Belle.
Is she a Southern Belle?
I don't know, but that sounded cool.
No, I don't think so. Would
right.
you date that
As you
voice?
write your own life story, always remember to tell it with a smirk.
Man, he
Right now.
just made it all angry, like.
Sure did.
I'm just, well, you guys talked about Wonder Woman costume. I just can't, I got to Google Gal Gadot real quick.